Hi, Asif. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you, Brita. Thank you for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
No, we really appreciate you taking our time and joining the call Data Talks. It's really like a podcast that we host with B2 Metric, at which we just invite host like people like you who have a lot of experience in SaaS, analytics kind of industry, and just really get to know your experience, your understanding on certain points, certain topics that are really ongoing. We even did like a Q&A kind of a session online, and we have some questions that we gathered online. So I have those questions, but first I want to ask you, how are you doing? How's everything going? And I think you're based out of London, right?
I am indeed, yeah. So let's start with a quick introduction. My name is Asif Mohammad. I've been in technology for last 15 plus years. Started my career in Microsoft, did different roles for 5 years, moved to IBM, spent 5 years. And then most recently at UiPath, where I built the marketing function from the scratch and took the business from, I would say, 10 million. I went to John Lewis, bought my laptop, the rest of the history, and then companies went public with $375 billion market cap. So I'm really passionate about scale-ups like yourself and B2 Metrics.
That's interesting. So I've seen your LinkedIn briefly, and you've spent a lot of time in product management as well as marketing of SaaS companies, tech companies as whole. So can you tell a little bit about that?
Sure. So my experience is like it's very much 360 degree. I started my career at Microsoft Consulting Services, moved to solution marketing, which we call product marketing these days. So I added different roles. I launched different various products like Windows XP, Office XP. I did partner alliances marketing, marketing operation, demand generation, field marketing, growth marketing, PR index. It's pretty much 360 degree marketing. I have managed teams across the globe, like very diverse, highly performing teams around the world. So yeah, I mean, understanding the customer needs, translating the product from customer value perspective is something I enjoy, and I'm very passionate about the customers and empowering and helping customers.
That's interesting, and that's great. So also because you have an experience on the marketing side as well as the tech side of things as well, I think you could give a lot of perspective on the first question that we've gotten like very commonly, which is like, how could like these SaaS businesses strike a balance between acquiring new customers and retaining the existing ones, also ensuring the high customer lifetime value and during the hypergrowth
Sure.
environment?
I think this is a great question, because when the companies transition from traditional on-prem to SaaS, and not every company, but most of the companies, or a lot of companies, are missing the boat. So creating customer stickiness is a challenge for the SaaS companies. And I think it's really important that you have a clear engagement with the potential customers or existing customers, where you're really understanding and anticipating their needs. That's number one. Number two, you have the dialogue. So you're getting what they need, and you're anticipating their future needs, and then making sure that that is part of your product strategy and roadmap. So it's a low friction. They can use, they can implement, they can get the return on investment as the vendor is promising them. So that is something you need to convince to your SaaS customers in order to create stickiness. As you would know, retaining, so acquiring a new customer is 5 times expensive than retaining existing customers. So as a marketer, it's really important that I have a clear engagement plan with the existing customers. There's a customer advisory, so where we can learn from customers, get their feedback, trial our different products, features, make the user experience as best as we can compared to the competitors. And then making the engagement and the dialogue very, very easy. So they should be able to come to the customer portal, use manuals, use different hints and tips, how they can get maximum out of their product. And also they should have confidence in the product roadmap of the company. So how you can do that? You can do that by having consistent dialogue and communication through multi-channel, and customer advisory is something I have done in various companies, my past lives, where we come together, do different focus groups, do different workshops, and build strong relationship with them, listen to them, and make sure that they have the confidence in terms of a product roadmap. And it's a two-way dialogue, so it's not a monologue. If you do that, then sky is the limit, and you can really create a stickiness and strong relationship, and increase the customer lifetime value.
That's interesting. That covers a lot of parts. So you also mentioned about multi-channel marketing. How important do you think the role of data analytics is now that, all the companies are trying to go data-driven, and trying to really, tap into the AI area as well as the analytics as a whole? But in terms of data analytics, how important, first question would be, how important do you think is data analytics, which quite obviously is where a lot of companies align towards? But how do companies mainly use data analytics to then refine their demand generation strategies based on customer behavior and customer preferences?
Sure. So I think as a marketeer, it's a no-brainer for me, because doing or building any multi-channel marketing campaign or demand generation campaign is just like, doing without data analytics is just like a finger in the air. So you don't know what you're planning for, how your segments look like, what the behaviors look like, what does the digital journey look like. So data analytics can provide you intelligence on customers' buying behaviors, their persona type, their digital journeys, how they're interacting, what channel they are using, what the channels look like, where the traffic is coming onto the website, what those channels are, what do the conversion look like. So this is all you need to have the right analytics in order to make smarter decisions. So as a marketeer or my fellow marketeers, we make sure that we understand the complete end-to-end buyer's digital journey and get the data and intelligence, so we can do the right segmentation, we can do the right positioning, we can build the right messaging by persona type, and convey the right message through the right channels at the right time to get the maximum return on investment from the marketing activities.
Right, that makes sense. And in terms of marketing ROI, how do, even on the data analytics side, this predictive analytics market that's booming right now. So how, in terms of marketing ROI, how do the predictive analytics help companies identify and prioritize high value prospects?
Sure. So you can look at I talk about the digital journey of the potential prospects. So if somebody's coming to your website through data analytics, you know how much time they're spending on the website, which pages they are browsing, how much time they're investing, what type of contents they are looking into. So once you know that, then you can position the right contents and use the right channels. Data analytics provide you all that intelligence you need in order to be smarter in terms of your marketing decisions. And if you do that, then the conversion rate automatically will improve, and that will impact on the rapid return on investment. I have worked for companies where the return on investment was 3x. I have worked for the companies where the return on investment was 10x. And the difference between both companies, or two sets of companies, was looking into the analytics, looking into the intelligence, making the smarter decision, writing, using the right channels, using the right contents, and the timing. So these all elements are important, and you can put together once you have the intelligence about the customer's behavior and how they interact with their prospective vendors.
Right. You also mentioned about timing. I guess that's something that's missed out upon. With a lot of analytics tools in place at the moment in the market, is that you do have analytics and you do have this data that's been read upon to these different channels, different tools, but taking the right action at the right time is something that's that a lot of companies are missing out on. But even if you're reaching out to customers that have probably interacted with your content online, 1 week later, that probably wouldn't really be so fruitful for you as a company. So I think predictive analytics is really helping in that sense as well. So yeah, you're 100% right about this. So how do you think, now that now that companies have understood the importance of analytics, but also the predictive analytics market, how do you think the most SaaS companies are using these predictive analytics and machine learning to really narrow down the prospecting channel and really narrow down their and understanding when is the right time to take action, and also really basically, like, in terms of their efforts in narrowing it down to what really the customers, when they're going to go churn, and taking the actions at the right time and predicting it in the future, so that you could micro-segmenting your customers accordingly, target accordingly, rather than targeting anyone as a whole just because you have user data.
Sure. So I think it's a great question. So if your question is that, do I believe that the SaaS companies have realized that they need to have data analytics? I would say 99.99% yes. It's a no-brainer. So they have a need. I think the second question is whether or not they have the right skills and knowledge within the team to really understand the analytics and take the smarter decision and use the platform, whichever platform they're using, to its potential. So there is a gap, I think. Yes, all the companies or the founders I work with, or lots of CEOs I work with, they really bought into the idea of having the predictive analytics platform in place for the marketing. That's no brainer. But I think when it comes to the usability, they can see if they can sign a check because they do know that it's needed and it's going to make a difference from ROI perspective. But when it comes to the implementation of and the usability of that tool, still there is a gap. And I think it's on two parties. One is the vendor who's actually providing the platform, so they can really educate and make the life of the marketer easy, so they can use and how they can get the maximum out of that particular platform. So that's one part. And the second part is the company who's buying and implementing the data, whichever data platform, whether it's Criteo or B2Metrics or any others. I think it's really important for them. For the customers, it's really important for them to train their workforce, understand how to use it and how to get maximum out of that platform. If you do that, if both things come together, then sky's the limit.
Right. So do you think, like, maybe the data analytics, these platforms, what needs to be improved on their side is the ease of use and easing the onboarding process, which will help a lot of, because at the end of the day, these are my creators that are using the platforms, right? They're not technical people. They don't have technical skills. So maybe a solution that's easy to use for them and understand, and also do the entire machine learning things without no code machine learning, basically.
No code,
No code AutoML, to use that without having to create all these engineering models, which they don't have the capacity or even the skill set to do so. So maybe ease of use is something that these analytics tools could.
Absolutely. Ease of use is number one, because as I said, if I have a marketing team and they have not implemented or used a particular platform, it's new for them, and the lesser they know about the platform, higher the chance that the return investment they're not going to get out of that. So usability, ease of use is very important. Second part is the support from the vendors. So
yeah,
you talk about the onboarding. I think it's really important. It's not about selling a analytics platform and then deal is done. Deal is not done until the marketing team is using. So it's as I said, onus is on both party, both from vendor perspective, they're getting the right tools, assets, demo, testimonials or tutorials, whatever they have, to make sure that the customer really understand how to use that properly. That's number two. Number three is reporting. Reporting is very important because whenever you're using analytics tools, end of the day, as a marketing leader, I want to look into the analytics on my fingertips on a single pane of glass, where I can see different elements of the marketing activities and how they're performing and how I can improve upon based on the analytics I can get from the platform.
Right.
Fourth is continuous support and dialogue again. And some companies do better than others. So take an example of HubSpot. I'm a great fan of HubSpot, not just as as a platform, but the way they engage and add value to the marketeers. They really provide lots of value-added services and blogs and articles and videos where people like myself and many others, they can really learn about. So again, it's not sponsored by HubSpot, but I really admire their marketing activities.
Yes, we use HubSpot actually ourselves, and it's great. And also, I think the greatest part about HubSpot is the customer support team, because they reply instantly. If they have to call, they call instantly. I think that's something that really made us actually switch from the previous CRM to HubSpot.
Sure.
That was, so that makes sense. That really makes sense in terms of marketing teams and really them trying to, what do you think, be it a smaller marketing company, a startup, or as well as Microsoft, what do you think is the common struggle that they're having, even if there are so many analytics solutions in place nowadays, so many CRM solution, analytics solutions, as well as all kinds of these problem solving tools are out there. But what do you think still is the problem that persists in the market, especially for the marketing, growth, sales, product kind of teams, that still you think that's not talked about enough, that still needs to be talked more about?
Yeah, so on a broader level, if you talk about the challenges, is getting the right structure, the marketing structure in place. That nothing to do with the analytics or platform, but just having the right structure in place. That's number one. Number two is defining the right metrics for various marketing activities. So product marketing versus digital marketing, growth marketing, field marketing, defining those metrics. And then asking a question what they need in order to achieve the holistic marketing and sales objective. Because lots of, I'll give an example. Today I was talking to one of the founders, and they have implemented a data platform, intent-based data platform. But they don't know why they have implemented this. They know it's going to provide some intelligence, but beyond that, they don't know. The team I was talking to, they don't know why, how to use it, what they can look at, what categories they can look at, and all those things. So having a platform is not enough. Making sure that you have a clear requirement and understanding of whichever platform you have, whether it's marketing automation, whether it's social, whether it's analytics, whether it's CRM, you name it. But you got to know what you want to get out of that system. So first list those activities, socialize with your marketing team, build a consensus. This, hey, here is a gap, and these are things needs to be done before you even think about any platform. So it's not like other way around. Many founders or startups, what they're doing is they said, okay, we need to have MarTech or marketing tech stack. Let's implement these things without knowing what they're going to get out of that. That is the biggest link. So once they know what they needed, why they need it, then they can go out and do the comparison between different platforms, whatever they're looking for. Once they do that, I think it's highly likely they're going to get the right platform in place. They're going to use it to the potential and get the maximum return investment from their,
platform. Yes. And do you think the lack of understanding of, the full potential of the platform is because also of the fact that now they're using too many platforms at once, and there's too much data that's coming from so many platforms that's scattered towards all the all the platforms that they're using, and there's probably not one umbrella that they could look at all the data into one picture from a bigger picture to see, okay, sales activities are being tracked into HubSpot. We're using Stripe, or we're using ERP, or so many different platforms, but there's so much data and there's so many platforms to manage. And maybe if you're looking into a small mid-sized company, there are not enough people to manage all these tools. And then even if there are people, then who's going to create reports? So even to create reports, then go to Power BI or these other data visualization tools. So it's just so much, I guess, to keep up with. And because there's so much to keep up with, I guess you as a marketer or as a marketing manager's role, they probably are getting lost and hence not using the platform to its full potential.
I couldn't agree more, and I think that's a day in day out challenge I face whenever I talk to different companies and a marketeer. They said, yes, we have MarTech, yes, we have lots of platform they have inherited, but they are not using. some companies use like having 6 cents, but they'll never use it in the last 6 months. It's not nothing to do with the platform or the speed of that. But if somebody has implemented it and left the company without any long-term strategy, without any right handover, it's a waste of investment. And the best thing is, as I said, I always say less is more. It's not about having too many tools, and that's not going to guarantee you that you're going to get the right things. It's just kind of figure out, okay, what you need, why you need, and what impact it's going to create. These are 3 things I ask my marketing teams. If somebody's coming to me, I want to implement this tool. Fine, I'm happy to support you, but why do you need this? Here's the plan of action. This is why we need. Okay, what would be the impact? How are you going to work with the various cross-functional teams from the implementation perspective? It's not just about buying a tool, but also you need to work with other cross-functional teams and make sure that IT is on board and other. So building the consensus, building the need, and having the right plan in place, change management plan in place. I think that helps you, to implement the solution and getting maximum return on investment.
Makes sense. And also, not understanding, I guess, is not only like not only you're not getting enough return on investment, but also this is leading to a lot of churn because you're also not understanding the user data that's now your data scattered into various platforms. And because you're not, so that leads to higher churn, lack of understanding of your customers. So really, like maybe having a solution that could give you holistic view of all of these platforms that you're using, but also so that you're able to understand your user data and also track the user data in a system. But yeah, that would be helpful. But I think we had a very good conversation. So these are my questions. If you have anything else that you would like to add on, especially for marketeers, for sales, product, these kind of teams that are working towards, if you have any message, any tip that you'd like to share, that would be helpful.
Sure. I think the first tip I will, which I've learned, and I always learn, every day I learn from people like yourself and lots of other marketeers in the industry, is understanding your customers better than your competitors. I think that's really important. And how would you understand your customer better than the competitors? One is doing the market sensing. So looking at the market, what's going on. That's number one. Number 2 is, again, that comes down to the analytics. So understanding the digital journey of the customers, understanding your personas, understanding your ICPs, because lots of companies are in rush. Let's do integrated marketing. Let's do this. There's email and SEO and social activities first and thinking second. And losing a lot of money. So the best thing is just take a deep breath, take a step back, and say, okay, fine. Who are my ICPs? What are their challenges? What are their problems? What I'm trying to solve the problem. People are not interested in features and functionalities. People are interested in how you can solve their problems. So very much value-based marketing is something I'm a fan of, and understanding customer needs, getting the right message to the right personas with the right channels, understanding, again, the channels is not about getting a lot of traffic on your website and Insta and yes, we got like 30% or 300% increase in the website, but is the traffic you're getting is relevant? Are they the right people you would like to talk to? So you're wasting their time, spamming their inbox, and then wasting your time and money and dollars. So getting the right message to the right channels, to the right people, and having the consistent dialogue. It's not what marketing is not one thing. Marketing is not one activity. You got to engage with them through LinkedIn, through social, through digital, all other digital channels, whether it's paid and in-mail or content syndication. Bring them onto the virtual webinar or attend so marketing is not like one thing, one activity. Marketing is these days is very much integrated. So having the right integrated marketing approach, and if you do that, if you understand your customers better, if you understand their digital journey, then sky's the limit. So that's the one tip I think I would like to share with my marketeer.
I think that's a pretty valuable one. I mean, I think you put it like very nicely with the best use of words. I think, understanding your customers better than competitors. That's that's the line to live by.
Yeah.
For marketers, not just marketers, even for salespeople or, for products, customer
Oh,
success.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your time. And this was very valuable, conversation that we've just had. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to really enjoy it and take valuable outcomes out of this. But yeah, so this is it for today.
Thank you
And
very much for the opportunity. I really enjoyed our conversation. And yeah, if you have any questions, please give me a shout via LinkedIn or via email.
okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you
Have a
very
good
much. Bye-bye. Bye.